You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking because you're always looking for, and finding the good. And you have found good in abundance because you have consciously and conscientiously tuned into the Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore. And you tuned in to this podcast for one reason and one reason only. It's a great reason, actually, because you care the most in the entire world about you. Y-O-U. And that's great, by the way, because when you care the most about you, you become the best you possible. When you're the best you possible, you build more bridges of harmony. You create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. And that's really what living is about, right? Now, you know, you tuned into the show. Thank God, around the world right now, 348,613 people tuned in. And by the time we bring on our amazingly wonderful, fabulous guest, Vanessa, we'll have over 365,000 people, because you're always urging your family and friends to join. And God willing, within the next few months, we will be hitting 500,000 people. And then I'm going to ask you always to share the podcast with 5 people. So right now, you share those with 5 people, we'll touch 1.5 million. God willing, we'll do that in a few more months, and we'll touch 2.5 million. The Joy of Living podcast is for you. Because you know that on this show, we discuss the 3 fundamentals of life. And the 3 fundamentals are, number 1, life. Your life has purpose. And when you lead a purpose-driven life, number 2 happens. Now, in this case, a good number 2. You go MAD. Now, MAD is a wonderful acronym that stands for make a difference. Lead a purpose-driven life, you make a difference in the world. And 3rd fundamental of life is to uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. Simple example. Right now, as I said, this is being carried over the internet throughout the world. Now, if you ask anybody, what does WW stand for? And they very perhaps have to do with the internet. And factually speaking, they're correct. But in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, WWW stands for what a wonderful world. And whata is a word, right? WHATA. And of course, a tip of the hat and a big thank you to Louis Armstrong Satchmo for enabling that amazing song to go viral and not just touch tens of millions or hundreds of millions, but billions of people around the planet know that fabulous song, What a Wonderful World. And when you hear the opening bars of that song, you can't help but do what? Smile. Because that's what happens. You live a wonderful world, a beautiful song, you smile. Now, smile is one of the most important words you could ever internalize, utilize, and leverage in your life, because smile is an acronym that stands for seeing miracles in life every day. That's right, seeing miracles in life every day. Now, thank God we're back doing in-person discussions. And recently I spoke to a group of 1,176 people, lots of hugging, light energy, not a mask in the audience. And I'm telling you the story about Barry Shore. I'm talking about smile, seeing miracles, and people raising their hand. And some people say, hey, Barry Shore, I've been up for hours, I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can barely do that. Do you have water to drink? You have food to eat? Do you have family? You have a place to sleep? You have family? You have friends? Every single one of those is a miracle. What's the proof? Simple as proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're watching or you're listening, you didn't. Therefore, you have an obligation to live life to the full, to live life exuberantly. So imagine, if you can, the following story about me. Standing up in the morning, hale and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, and that evening being in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed from my neck down. Became a quadriplegic, not from an automobile accident, not a spinal injury, a rare disease, which I never heard of the day before, took over my body and rendered me incapable of moving. I could only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. I was in a hospital bed in my own home for 2 years. I couldn't turn over by myself. I was in a wheelchair for 4 years. I had braces on both my legs, from my hips to my ankles, and that was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand. So I'm a triped, not a biped. I still can't walk up a stair by myself. I can't walk up a curb by myself. And I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you hear my voice: positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, all because of one word. And that word is smile. Seeing miracles in life every day. I got to tell you a quick story. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me a few weeks ago. He says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile S-M-I-E-L? I thought about it. Smile sounds the same. Why not? I asked her, how come? She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. Out of the mouth of babes. Well, what was she doing? She was creating the kind of world that she wants to live in. Now, CREATE is a wonderful acronym that stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. We're going to learn about rethinking with wonderful Vanessa. Now, rethinking really is a shift in perspective. Now, I have to tell you something. I've been working with people for more than 42 years, and 97.2% of all people, when I talk about shift perspective, they drop the F in shift and the other stuff happens. You have to be effing careful with your Fs. So you want to shift your perspective just a little bit, and then you can internalize and utilize and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever use in your life. And they are: choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. They will determine your pathway and your trajectory in life. Now, before we bring on wonderful Vanessa, I have to warn her and others in advance that I do use a lot of 4-letter words. I even use the 4-letter FU word, and I do it because of the shock value, and it's fun. Now, of course, the 4-letter words that we use are, because we live in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant: love, life, hope, free, gift, play, pray, swim. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. Fun, yes. F-U, capital N, capital N. Now, right away, some people are raising their hands and say, hey, Barry Shore, fun's only spelled with 3 letters. Not in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. Fun is spelled F-U, capital N, capital N. So after the show, you see your family and friends, you want to point your finger and say, F-U, everybody. Remember to add right away, capital N, capital N. So where'd you get that? Say, listen to Barry Shore, the Joy of Living podcast. He wants to teach the world to F-U, capital N, capital N. And then you have an opening to discuss all about the things that Vanessa is going to share with us about healing and love and happiness and peace. And, of course, you. So before we bring on Vanessa, I just want to urge everybody that from now forward to use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day, every single day for the rest of your life, because it will help you, your family, your friends, and all living beings. And these 2 words are, of course, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. To harmonize and nurture kindness. Imagine going into your coffee shop, order a fancy latte, you sit down, and somebody brings it to you. Say, thank you. You go in the coffee shop, you order a fancy latte, and a couple of minutes go by, nobody brings it to you. You go to the counter, and they say, I'm sorry, we forgot, we're busy, we'll bring it. You sit down, a couple more minutes goes by, somebody brings it, you say, thank you. Walking out of the coffee shop, it's raining out. Somebody holds the door open for you. You say, thank you. You're walking out of the coffee shop, it's raining, and somebody slams the door on you. You say, thank you. You're in traffic, you're late for an appointment, somebody cuts you off. You say, thank you. Get up in the middle of the night and you stub your toe and it hurts. You say, thank you. To harmonize and nurture kindness. Kind is a magnificent word that stands for keep inspiring noble deeds. I can't think of anybody that inspires noble deeds that I'd like to introduce you to more than wonderful Vanessa Eltson. Vanessa, please say hello to 363,820 people around the world.
Wow. Hello, everybody. I mean, what a fantastic opportunity to come on this amazing show. It's so in alignment with what I'm all about: happiness, joy, optimism, living life to the full. So, Barry, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Vanessa, what a pleasure. Now, everybody should know that I asked Vanessa to bring along her fake English accent, and she did. And she's doing a very good job of it. It happens to be, we're very fortunate. She's visiting Ontario, Canada at the moment. She lives in London. And of course, for people who around the world, it doesn't matter where you are because there is no more geography. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about, because one of the things that Vanessa does is she is a healer. And I'm going to ask her to tell her story of how she became a healer and how she's now using that process of learning to be her own healer and helping so many other people. So, Vanessa, what is the story of how you became a healer and how you help other people?
Well, unlike a lot of healers, I came to healing very late in life. And it came about because I was struck down by severe, chronic actually, arthritis. And I went up one day and just couldn't get out of bed. Couldn't move my neck, couldn't move my hands. Took me hours to get out of bed. And of course, I'd left my phone downstairs. And then took me another couple of hours to get down the stairs, by which stage I was absolutely distraught. And after lots of trips to the hospital, and they said, we don't really know what's wrong with you, but we're going to put you on chemo drugs. I thought, what on earth are you doing to me? I haven't got cancer. It's great business model for big pharma, because I'll take the chemo drugs and then there's another 5 drugs I've got to take for the side effects. Forget about it. I'm not doing that. And then, quite by luck, a friend of mine dropped round. He'd just had a session with an amazing healer in Beirut. And like you said, Barry, we do everything on Zoom now, don't we? So, geography is not a problem. And she started working with me, and all my physical issues were to do with stress, depression, anxiety, and, just not being happy with what I was doing. I was an award-winning entrepreneur, had a fantastic business, but I was really unhappy. And when she cured me, she said to me, the reason you've been stopped in your tracks is because you are a very gifted healer and you need to embrace it, or you're going to be struck down again, and next time you may not get up. So I didn't need much encouragement. I started down the journey of learning healing, and it was fantastic. It was like the best thing I'd ever done in my life. It was easy, it was enjoyable, and it filled me with joy, which I never got from any job that I'd done at their level, And
I would like to put you on pause for a moment and unpack a few things that you said, because they're so engaging. So first of all, the name of this podcast, of course, is The Joy of Living. Now, joy is a wonderful acronym that stands for Journey of You. You just mentioned this word journey. And here you were, as you said, very successful entrepreneur, very successful in every aspect of your business, very successful in every aspect of your life, except that you didn't realize that you weren't. You were completely oblivious to the fact that you were stressed, anxious, almost depressed, worried, fearsome, and you had put that all away because you had masked it over with your apparent success. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. And I was part of the fine brigade. If you ever ask me how I was, fine, I'm great. How are you? And this is what I say to people: be vigilant, because the I'm fine brigade are often crumbling behind that mask. And what you need to do is probe a little deeper and make sure that they're okay and check up on them, because they're very often the people that are almost suicidal or getting really ill from the stress and the unhappiness in their life. And very often a hug, a few kind words, can make all the difference to somebody. It can start them on a journey of healing.
So here you were, as you said, all the trappings of success in life, and yet you were physically ailing. You couldn't even move out of bed. And you were able to meet someone who healed you in a very relatively short period of time. And that puts you on the pathway for you to become a healer for others. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. And, the thing about having a journey is that I couldn't do my job if I didn't know what anxiety and depression look like, if I didn't know what it is to be fearful all the time instead of excited about life and worried constantly about money and material things. And when you stop worrying about those things and start worrying about the joy of life, the simple things, the beauty of nature, and the beauty of humanity, then your whole life changes up.
So let's talk about the process here. I'm going to mention something to you. There's a great phrase of 3 letters called ESP. Some people think ESP stands for extrasensory perception. You've heard that, right?
Absolutely.
But in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, ESP stands for everyday simple pleasures, like you've been saying. So when you are able to remove, or let's put it this way, replace worry, fear, anxiety with everyday simple pleasures, are you saying that that is a healing mechanism?
Absolutely. And I think it starts with being grateful. Most people aren't grateful for what they've got because they're always comparing themselves to an unattainable model or people they know. And to me, success is, your health is your wealth, your family are your wealth. And, if you're lucky enough to be able to breathe clean air and look at nature in its wonder and appreciate it, then, that's the joy of living. And gratitude. How many people wake up in the morning and say, gosh, I'm really glad I'm breathing without any encumbrance? There's a lot of people who've suffered from COVID who still can't breathe properly. I'm so grateful I can move freely. I'm so grateful I've got food in the fridge, a roof over my head, safety. We've got loads of refugees from the Ukraine in the UK at the moment, and they arrive terrified because of the war that's going on there. So I'm grateful every day that I live in a country that has peace and safety.
So you, as a healer, are recommending, as an RX, you're giving the prescription, that one of the ways to begin the process of feeling joy in your life and therefore healing oneself is to begin with the attitude of gratitude. Correct?
Absolutely. And also, um, it's about shaping your environment. It's very easy to be a victim. I've done it. You lose a business deal. Oh, poor me. I tried so hard. Life's so unfair. Get over yourself. There'll be other business deals that are more aligned with you. It doesn't work out for you. It's because that person's to move out the way and let something better come in. But in order to maintain that faith, you need to be in gratitude all the time. And even if you do lose that business deal, you need to thank somebody for the opportunity and then have faith that something better is going to come in. And it will. And the more you can get into this mindset of gratitude for things that haven't even happened yet, that you'd like to happen, then they'll actually start showing up in a sort of serendipitous way. I hate the word manifestation because it's so overused. I like the word serendipity because that is beyond your imagination. You don't know it's going to show up. So keep your eyes open, because I had a client the other day, desperate to break into the music industry, got chatting to the dustman of all people, whose sister was a record producer, and he managed to get his tape in front of her and he got a record deal. So keep your eyes open, because serendipity doesn't turn up how you expect it to.
There is a great quote that is in my book, The Joy of Living, which of course is available to people throughout the world at absolutely no cost as an ebook. Go to barryshore.com/ebook. And in there, I use this quote that I've been living with for decades. And you might love this, Vanessa. Serendipity is a shortcut to joy. You love that?
I love that.
Serendipity is a shortcut to joy. On that high note, we're going to take a very short break for sponsors that love the show, and we urge you to frequent these sponsors because they're good people and they keep the show alive and going. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this brief message. Don't go away. There's more amazing Vanessa on the other side of this break. Good day, everybody. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp. Now, everybody knows, as watches this show, that I've been through a lot of stuff, paralyzed, years in therapy. And when I talk about therapy, I'm talking about physical and mental therapy. So I am a big believer in the benefits of therapy. And I'd like to urge everybody to consider using therapy in your life. It will make a positive, purposeful, powerful, beneficial difference for you. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, I would urge you to give BetterHelp a try. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire, you get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. It is really, I believe, a great opportunity if you're considering using therapy. And I urge people, use therapy. So let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. That's betterhelp.com, BetterHelp.com/joy of living. Do it today and you'll get 10% off your first month. Visit betterhelp.com. That's BetterHelp.com/joy of living. You'll thank me. And I know you like thanking me. Go to betterhelp.com/joy of living. Do it now. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking. You're always looking for and finding the good. We have good in abundance. Our cup runneth over with good. Her name is Vanessa Eltson, and she is a remarkable being. She's a healer, and she learned how to become a healer through learning how to heal herself. She was healed by somebody. She was living the life that everybody thinks she wants. She had all of it, except she had none of it. And then when she found out she didn't have anything, and then she was emptied, she was able to gain wisdom and fill up her cup so she could give it to other people. And the beginning point of it all, as she says, is gratitude. Now, was that a good summation as a moment for where we are?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You've got it spot on there.
Okay, so let's talk now about healing as an alternative to big pharma, because the world is built these days, the Western world anyway, is built on, I am ill, here's a pill. Is that a way to live? No, I don't think so.
No, and we've totally lost touch with the magic in life. You know, we're all energetic beings oscillating away, producing energy. But what sort of energy are we producing? Are we in victim mode? Poor me, you know, my life's terrible. That's heavy energy. When people say, that guy's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, that's because heavy energy weighs you down. Light energy, vital force energy, fills you with joy and optimism and excitement about the unknown and what's coming next. When you're not in that zone, you're always in fear of what's coming next. You don't know what's going to hit me next. You know, that's not a good way to be. And to put your value on a Mercedes or the size of your house, there's, you know, easy come, easy go. You know, you can't put a value on feeling happy. And when I finally made the switch change from being unhappy to being happy, oh my goodness. I mean, to me, it's worth millions, billions. And what I do with my clients is move them out of that place that they're stuck in depression, immobilized, anxious, miserable, sad, and I shift them to a place where they're moving forward. And that's why I'm a quantum healer, because in the quantum realm, 1 and 1 isn't 2, it's 3, because it works in waves. It's always moving forward. So your past doesn't define you. It doesn't matter what's happened to you. You know, healing can make that not matter. And it could be something as hideous as abuse when you were a child, but it doesn't define you and it shouldn't haunt you. And very often people come to me, they're very, very successful, and they've used that situation to actually generate their success. And they think that they'll be safe and escaped from it. You know, when they've got the big house, when they've got the big car, when they've got millions rolling in. And then guess what? They get all of that. And the thing that's driven them and haunted them is still there haunting them. And so what I do is I just use a set of maps and a pendulum, and I find out when the bad energy trapped, what the emotional statement is. And what I mean by that is it might be, I'm terrified, I'm worthless, I'm useless, I'm powerless, any of those things.
By the way, let me put you on pause for a moment. The people who are articulating these words, I'm worthless, I'm powerless and such, are people who, from the outside, people looking in, think those are powerful, worthwhile, worthy models of people, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm constantly surprised by how many successful people are desperately, desperately unhappy.
Desperately unhappy. Do you hear? I wonder, I am so liberated by hearing this. And I trust, by the way, that the hundreds of thousands of people that are listening also, by the way, everything you want to know about Vanessa and her quantum healing, and she's such a delightful being, as you can hear with that. If you're watching this, you see the smile. If you're not, you can hear the smile in her voice. Just go to my website, barryshore.com, BARRYSHORE.com, and everything about Vanessa is there to access and really find out about what she's talking about here, because it's so important. The trappings of life, what other people consider the trappings of success, are not necessarily those. The great trappings of success are gratitude, positive energy, and as she says, a shift in perspective. Remember, we talked about shift. It's the title of my newest book, by the way, which is called Oh Shift. Wonderful, Vanessa. And on the front cover of the book, we use Scrabble tiles, the OH, and then the SHI, and the F is just below the line, and then the T. Because if you don't keep the F in the right place, the other stuff happens, right? So you want to have the shift in perspective. And what you're sharing with us is that this shift is not only available, it's available to everyone. It is a simple, available process. Now, you use something called a pendulum. Now, when you're using a pendulum, are you using literally, you're holding a pendulum over someone as they're lying down? And now you're moving? No?
No, I do most of my work internationally on Zoom, and I literally have my book of maps, and you'll hear me say, is it on the left? Is it on the right? Is it this? Is it that? And we finally break it down to what it is in terms of negative energy that's haunting your life and making you miserable. And then I just use my pendulum and spin it round, and I pull that bad energy out of my clients, and I breathe it in, and then I breathe it out. And unfortunately, they have to see me yawning quite a lot. And, you know, they see me with my mouth open quite a lot, because sometimes I need to just, you know, get rid of it. And what I'm doing is I'm returning it to source, to the prophet, to the universe, whatever your word is for God or the Almighty, to clean it up again. Because energy should all be vital force energy. It's just negativity. And sometimes people say to me, what is evil? I'll say it's bad energy. It's when you let something have power over you.
Again, I'm loving this, and she does this over Zoom. So it can be done anywhere in the world. You don't have to be physically present with somebody. You can, and by the way, that is the genius of energy, isn't it? That it knows no boundaries. See, when people recognize that we are truly not finite beings, I say in my opening that I talk about people, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings. It's true. We are immortal. Most of us don't realize that. Now, of course, Vanessa realizes that's one of the reasons she's on the show today, because she and I are kindred spirits and we're sharing energy around the world and we're healing thousands and thousands of people at this very moment with our beings, right? Wonderful, Vanessa? So the genius of it is that there is nothing in the world can stop positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant energy. Nothing. There's no wall, there's no mountain, there's no ocean, there is no barrier whatsoever. And the greatest energy emanates from your mind. When your thoughts are energetic, when your words are positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, and your deeds are in harmony with the thoughts and the words, then you become what I call a cog. That's what Vanessa is. She's a channel of goodness. Did you know that? You're a cog, a channel of goodness, a child of God. How do you like that, Vanessa? You love it?
I love that. I love that. I've never really heard myself called that. But yeah, I mean, the thing that brings me the most joy is when I've had somebody come and see me and they say, "You're my last resort." And I don't really believe in all this woo-woo stuff, but I'm just going to give it a go because I'm desperate or I feel suicidal. And I'm like, okay, then. And then we make the shift. And 3 days later, I'll get a WhatsApp or an email just saying, "I feel lighter. I feel optimistic. I feel that I can leave this depression and this anxiety and start to look forward." And yeah, you can. And you can decide to do that at any time. Anxiety and depression is a transient thing. You have to make a decision that it's not going to own you. And also, something else you said, words have immense power. You know, I am depressed. No, you're not. I don't introduce myself saying, I'm depressed, hello, I'm depressed and anxious. I say, hello, I'm Vanessa. Lovely to meet you. But you're messing with your I am presence. You know, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling anxious. That makes it something that can change. And you mentioned this, your thoughts create your emotions create your environment. And if you're operating from a perspective of fear or shame or guilt or any of those nasties, then you're operating in an environment that's just going to continue attracting more fear, more of that bad stuff. When you start being fearless and you just think, do you know what? Life's great. And I really have got faith that there is enough. There's enough for everybody. There's enough of everything. And if you can really believe it, and also back to gratitude again, being grateful for things that haven't happened. But I always finish anything like that with, and so it is. So it's as if it's happened already and you're just being grateful for it. So I'll give you an example of that. I wanted to meet somebody that put Intel inside computers for a specific reason on a project I'm working with. And I just thought, do you know what? It'd be wonderful to meet that person. I don't know who he is or she is, but I would love to meet them. And I imagined meeting them and having this really cool conversation. And do you know what? I met them today.
I want to emphasize something to you, my dear beloved Vanessa. It's called, what you're articulating, of course, is the law of attraction. This is what and I say it to everybody because, again, it's in my book, which is available for no cost. You should all get it because the book is transformative. The Joy of Living. Just go to barryshore.com/ebook. Because I mentioned in there the word law. When people hear the word law, oftentimes they think of the police car with that rotating and the sound and blah, 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 and they shrink. Well, when you work with words like we do, law stands for love and wisdom. That's what law is, love and wisdom. And when you create the law of attraction and you say grateful for something that's even happening because you are visualizing what can and will be, that's the law. It is a law. It must happen. It's built on love and wisdom. So now that you met the person, all it is just creating what was already there. You envisioned it. Now, I will share with you something, Vanessa. I think you might know this. And if you don't, it's good to speak it out because we have listeners from all over the world, from many different walks of life, many different modes of faith and interaction with the creator of the world. In the Bible, God introduces himself to Moses, actually, and tells Moses that God's name is, notice I didn't say he or she, God's name is, I am that I am. If you translate it from the original Hebrew, it comes out as, I am that I am. And this is what you're saying. In other words, I am fearless, I am capable, I am loving, I am in gratitude. And when you say those things, by definition, the vibrational energy inside of you must respond. It can't do anything else. So if I don't even want to use the words I am anxious or worried, because if you say that, that's what happens, right? Is that what you're saying? That when you become I am positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, you are. That's how you heal people. Is that correct?
That's right, because it's your I am presence. It's what affects your body. And I am depressed. No, you're not. You're in a transitory state. You're feeling depressed. We can sort that out. We can make it not matter, all the things that are causing the depression or causing your anxiety. And it's just, some people get stuck and weighed down by things. Some things are so traumatic that they just can't shift out of it. And that's where I step in and I just sort it out. And you don't have to. It's not like going to therapy where you need to pour out the whole thing on, somebody said to me the other day, you go to see a therapist, you spill your guts on the table, and then they say, oh, your hour's over. See you next week. And you left re-traumatized. All I'll say to you is, this happened when you were 7. It feels like this, that, and the other. And all you need to say is yes. And then I'll clear it. You don't need to tell me all about it because I know, I can feel it. I can see it. It's like a video clip in my mind. So that's what clients like, and men in particular, because men find it really difficult to talk about their emotional issues.
This is just so beautiful, loving, and delicious. We're going to take a short break now. Again, please frequent and use these sponsors because they love the show. They make it happen. We'll be right back after this brief message with more Vanessa, and she's going to reveal to us the quantum resonance app. We'll be right back after this brief message. Don't go away. Good day, everybody. Oh, something special for you. Amazing. Sometimes a great notion comes into the world and causes a shift that benefits everyone. Isn't that wonderful? Everyone benefits. This time it's called Einstein Cares. That's right, like Albert Einstein. EinsteinCares.com. EinsteinCares. EinsteinCares.com. Go there and sign up to be aware of when the site launches. Because guess what this site is all about? Its mission is to give $1 billion to charity without costing any giver a penny. Okay, I'm going to say it again. The mission is to give $1 billion to charity without costing any giver a penny. And it's based upon something everybody loves to do. Shop, have fun, give money at no cost. Go to EinsteinCares.com. That's EinsteinCares.com and register now so that when the site launches, you will be amongst the first to know about it. So you can shop, earn money, and give money at no cost. What a wonderful world to even be thinking about these things. EinsteinCares.com. Do it today. You'll thank me, and you know you love thanking me. Best wishes. Bye now. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. We have found good in abundance in a two-legged being named wonderful Vanessa. She is eternal. She is optimistic. She is energetic, and she works with something called quantum resonance. And she's going to tell us now about this frequency-infused light and sound app that anybody around the world can use. Vanessa, spill the beans.
Well, I got interested in quantum physics because it sort of explains what I'm able to do. And it gave me an argument against people that said, I don't really believe in all this woo-woo rubbish. And so it's wonderful to talk about, healers talk about your aura, but in quantum physics, we talk about the morphogeneric field. And we're able to capture that. Now, you hit on this earlier. The law of attraction is great, but the law of vibration is far more important. And that comes before the law of attraction. So what we want to be doing is vibrating on a good and harmonious frequency, the same as nature. Everything in nature is in harmony. A tree knows to grow. A flower knows it has to flower. And nothing gets in its way of achieving that. So I was really blessed. I met an inventor of this amazing product about 8 months ago, and I was just blown away. Now, quantum resonance is something that can travel any distance. So what I do with my healing is I'm resonating, positivity and healing, which can travel any distance in the quantum world. And that's why it works on Zoom. But this app is amazing. Now, most of us don't earth and ground anymore. Back in the day, when we didn't have shoes and when we were out farming, we'd have our feet on the ground and our heads, enjoying all the lovely protons from the sun. But, if you work in New York, when was the last time you went barefoot anywhere? If you're in London, try and find a bit of ground to stand on. It's getting more and more difficult. So what they've invented is this amazing app that's on your iPhone. And it uses sound, light, and frequency. So we've got an earthing, which we can just use to earth and ground our bodies, making sure that all our blood, the water in us, because we're 70 to 80% water, is earthed and grounded. And why that's important is because we're made of water, we're like conduits. So we can broadcast, we can accept, things like electromagnetic frequency from these weapons of mass distraction. So what we need to do is earth and ground regularly. And having it on a phone is amazing because you can do it on the fly. And then we have one for beauty. It's like anti-aging. We've got one for the body. And I love this because if you've got laptop neck or you're feeling a bit depressed, you just put it across you and it will reharmonize your body. And we've tested it on lots of people. I recently tested it on my sister, who's a real inspiration to me. She sadly had a mastectomy about 2 years ago, and she had a reconstruction the other day, and her bruising was horrible. And we used the body function over her scars and over all the bruising, and the results were, absolutely incredible. The doctor said he'd never seen anything like it. Now, we don't make any claims with this app. It's up to our users to make those claims and to tell us that it's having positive effects. But we've had incredible results from athletes that have got sprained knees, being told they can't run in the next race. And by using the app, they're able to repair their bodies really quickly. And then we've got audio waves as well, as if that wasn't enough. So anti-aging sleep, regenerating, rebalancing audio. that's tuned in, layered with frequency. And, it's just incredible. And we're hoping, if Apple approve it, that it'll be coming out on Saturday. We've got some influencers that really believe in it and are going to help us, get it out to everybody. And you'll be able to download it for 99 cents so you can try it for a week. And then if you like it, you can buy the whole thing. And I tell you, once you start using it, you won't be able to live without it.
This is such wonderful news. And I'd like to share with you the acronym for the word love. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Living on a vibrant energy. That's what love is, living on the vibrational plane. That's what you're doing.
Absolutely.
This is so fabulous. So I'm so glad that you announced this, and it will be coming out, and people all over the world can have it.
Absolutely.
Right. There's no barrier. There's no barrier because there's no geography. And when you understand that you need to think this way and be this way and be creative, it doesn't matter. Even if you're in one of the most repressive societies in the world, you can now begin to liberate yourself and other people. And that in and of itself can change and shift the entire equilibrium of our planet. We don't need all 8+ billion people to do it. You need a small percentage, somewhere between 1.5% and 2% of people on the planet, just doing this, shifting that energy. Everything else comes from that. This is so amazingly wonderful. Now, I will challenge you on one thing, wonderful Vanessa, and I'm going to urge you to consider doing this. Let's not use the word incredible, because incredible means not. I like you to start using the word, this is fully credible, because it's real.
I like that. I like that a lot. It's fully credible.
This is fully credible. And it is. You're giving credence. Now, I am only sorry to tell you, wonderful Vanessa, that our time together is coming to a close. However, we're not going to just finish like that. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, if I may. May I?
Of course you may.
Thank you. Number 1 question, will you come back again?
Oh, I'd absolutely love to. Thank you, Barry. Would be a pleasure.
Number 2, you have 80 seconds only to answer this question. 80 seconds. Wonderful Vanessa, what is your most fervent desire?
I want to save 1 million lives. That's what I want to do. I want to give people an option that's not big pharma, that doesn't have any side effects, that only has positive effects. And that's my mission in life.
And is in process of happening, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
And number 3, may I give you a hug in front of 369,822 people around the world?
Absolutely, Barry. Absolutely. Let's hug it out.
Let me tell you what HUG stands for. HUG stands for heartfelt, unlimited giving. Heartfelt, unlimited giving. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And you're listening to, of course, The Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore, an amazing guest, wonderful Vanessa Eltson. And you've been tuning in because you know it's not about Vanessa. It's not about Barry. It's about you. It's about you becoming the best you possible. When you become the best you possible, you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony. You create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world because you work with the 3 fundamentals of life. 3 fundamentals of life are, number 1, life. Your life has purpose. You lead a purpose-driven life. Number 2 happens. You go mad. Mad stands for make a difference. And the 3rd is to unlock the power and the sequence of everyday words and terms. Like we talked about, love, living on vibrant energy, smile, seeing miracles in life every day. Or as my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life. WWW, what a wonderful world, because that's where you live. I live in a wonderful world. Tell yourself that, and it becomes that. And now, of course, create the kind of world you want to live in, causing rethinking. That's what Vanessa's been sharing with us, causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. And therefore, you can have a shift in your perspective. Keep that F in place, and the shift happens, and shift causes transformation. That's what people really want. The T word, not inspiration, not information, transformation. And you do it with these 6 words, that internalize, utilize, and leverage. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation. Learn to use 4-letter words like love, hope, free, gift, play, pray, swim. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. Fun, spelled F-U, capital N, capital N. So after the show, you see your family and friends. You say, what'd you do? I listened to Barry Short. He wants to teach the world to F-U, capital N, capital N. And then, of course, use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day from now and the rest of your life, because they shift energy. These 2 words are thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. To harmonize and nurture kindness. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Therefore, be kind always. Keep inspiring noble deeds like wonderful Vanessa. And the app is coming out. You're going to use it, and it's going to make a shift in the world. So a blessing from Vanessa and Barry. Go forth. Live exuberantly. Spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Vanessa, don't go away.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.